clip that they let you preview before you buy it, you know, you can,
right.
or get one song or whatever. But yeah, so you can get that on iTunes.
Well, I've listened to a few of your songs on YouTube from your new album, Innocence and Experience. I have to say, I mean, I just fell in love with your voice. You just are so amazing, so
Thank
amazing.
you.
And is the album, did you choose those songs by William Finn because he's your favorite, or how did you go about that?
I chose all of Mr. Finn's music because I did Spelling Bee, and he wrote the music to that, and it was my Broadway debut, and it just seemed fitting. And I had been in numerous concerts that represented his work, and you know, I do love his music, and for being a first album, he has a fan base as well. So people wanted to hear new Bill Finn music because I sang quite a few songs that aren't typically done or aren't released or aren't published. So I sang some new stuff of his. So, you know, for my first CD, I wanted it to be, you know, either people know me and get it, or know Bill's music and want to hear new versions of it, you know. So kind of all of those reasons led me to choose stuff, you know, of his. And also, it's hard to choose music that you want to record. It kind of helped me narrow down the field.
Yeah. Especially when you like so many different things, you know. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I know as a listener of music, it's hard for me to choose what song I want to listen to, and it all, I guess, comes down to what mood you're in when you choose your music. And, of course, then if you're listening to the radio, you listen to anything that's on there. But as somebody that's going to make their own album like that, it's really got to be rough.
Yeah, so it helped me.
Well, that's good. It was kind of a tribute to him, too, so that's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And you also teach, that I read, too. You teach students? Yeah,
I teach private voice lessons. I do master classes. Actually, when I'm down in Atlanta on the 8th and 9th, we're doing a workshop, kind of a Broadway intensive weekend where we teach, you know, audition technique and acting your song and, you know, just different aspects of what it takes to
Yeah, because a lot of people probably don't realize there's so much more behind it just than singing a song up on stage.
Right, right. And, you know, about acting your song and what to do in the audition. And so, yeah, I do all kinds of different workshops here in the city, and I travel around to different schools and do presentations there. So it's fun, and I never realized that I would like doing it so much. But actually, when I was performing in Spelling Bee, I started teaching, and I really found that I liked it, and I liked that I could, you know, in one session help someone, and, you know, they can notice a difference or in their performance or whatever. So it's pretty satisfying. Yeah,
I would imagine. I mean, just like any other person that's a teacher, Dawn's actually going to school to be a teacher, possibly a special ed teacher, and that has to be very rewarding.
Yeah.
No matter what you're teaching.
Congratulations, Dawn. Sure.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. It's I'm in my third year, so some days I think I'm never going to be through, and other days I go, wow, I'm already in my third year. So I'm really excited about it. Of course, it's one of those things, you know, people look at me and they go, why do you want to teach? But it's just a calling I have. It's something I want to do. And so kudos to you, because I know it's not an easy job, no matter if what you're teaching. It's, you know, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and so hopefully.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful.
Now, when you were growing up, was that something, acting, singing, all of the artistic things that you have going on, is that something you always wanted to do?
I think so. I mean, I always loved it, and my parents would take us to shows when we were little, and, you know, I can remember seeing a touring production of Annie, and I always loved to sing. We had, you know, record albums, and I remember I had the movie musical soundtrack to Annie and The Sound of Music and Grease, and I would just sit there in front of the record player and sing along with them so loud, and I just loved it. And I think I remember maybe it was 5th grade. Our teacher, they asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be on Broadway. But I didn't even know what that
even
meant.
Broadway, you said.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't really know what that meant. I just knew I liked to sing. And, and then I in Ohio, where I grew up, a big thing is show choirs, kind of like Glee. Yeah. But with a little, more dancing and singing production numbers. Anyway, so I did that. I auditioned in junior high, and I started with that, and that kind of, gave me a little taste of what performing is like. And I did my high school musicals and things like that. And probably my junior year of high school, I decided, okay, yes, I want to try to do this.
Did you ever have stage fright?
Sure. I not debilitating, but even today, especially if it's a concert that, it's like a one-time gig or whatever, I still get butterflies in my stomach, and I have to stand backstage and go over my lyrics and try not to psych myself out. So, all these years later, I'm still having to do all those things. You still get butterflies. You still get nervous. And I get, for me, it's always the beforehand, and usually once I'm up on stage and, it's go time, then it goes away.
Yeah, but you probably don't even think about it because you're in the scene then and doing what you need to do.
Right. But it's beforehand, it's the overthinking, beforehand that gets you.
Yeah. I feel that way before every interview.
Yeah.
No matter who it is. I'm always telling Dawn, okay, I'm starting to freak out now. Once I get talking, I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I even felt that way Monday night getting ready to walk the red carpet. I just was like, okay, I was excited all day, and kind of your stomach is like, ooh. And I didn't even have lyrics to remember, or so, I didn't have to do anything but stand there and get my picture taken. But I was still nervous,
Right.
But then once you're out there, it all goes away.
Now, I just saw an article real quick. It says, Breaking Dawn 2 smashes records abroad as Twilight Saga takes last box office bite. So internationally now, it's already a smash hit, and they're saying that they believe it's going to surpass Breaking Dawn 1.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I think it probably will surpass Breaking Dawn 1.
Well, get ready. I think you already had a taste of it at Comic-Con, so.
Oh, yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, it was great. It was a lot of fun. We went, and the night before all the panel discussions, we went out to the tent city that was set up there and signed autographs. And the fans of this book are so dedicated. It's really amazing. The fans of this whole saga, and you'll see the same people, the people who camped out in San Diego are probably the same people who camped out in LA. They travel from all different places to come and catch a glimpse of their beloved stars, and all the characters in the book, and they're pretty amazing. I was thinking to myself on that night, I don't know if I'm that passionate about something that I would wait, in a tent for 5 days. I don't know if there's anything that I would do that for.
I know. I know. And I think it's crazy, but it's crazy good, I guess, for all of the characters and all of the actors that play them, to see the dedication and know that you're doing something that people love.
Right. And, it's funny to me that it's like I already have fans just for being the character. They haven't even seen the movie yet, but they're just like, woohoo, you're Siobhan, You hope you live up to the expectations of what that means,
Right.
They're just excited that you're playing the character, that you played the character.
That is so cool. Mm-hmm. You also mentioned that as a vampire, I guess that you or your part that you have to stand pretty still, and it's something the complete opposite of what you do on your musicals?
Well, sure. And there's actually even a scene in the book and in the movie about, because when Bella turns into a vampire and she wants to talk to her father, who doesn't know what happened to her, and they're all saying to her, okay, now you have to make a conscious effort to blink your eyes and to cross your legs and fidget, because as vampires, they just don't do that. They don't need to do it as humans do, because humans get tired and they slouch in their chair and they do all those things that vampires don't sleep, they don't eat, they don't need to do those things. So when we're standing out on the field, or we're sitting and listening, we as human beings playing vampires had to make a conscious effort not to fidget. So that there was a difference between us and the Hewing characters. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so we had to, make a conscious effort to not do those human things that we naturally do. I mean, it's not like we were stiff like robots, but there wasn't a lot of extraneous, like touching my hair and, things like that you might just naturally do, or it might be a habit of yours.
Yeah.
So we had to be conscious of that and not do that.
Well, that's something that's hard for anybody, I think. If somebody told you to stand still, even in school or something, you always do something. So, yeah, I can imagine how hard that would be.
Right. And, of course we could move a little bit, but it just had to be something we had to be aware of.
Right. I'm sorry, Dawn, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
It's okay. It's fine. I was just going to ask, this is actually not Twilight related, but when you performed in Priscilla, and you and some of your cast members performed a song during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, what was that like?
It was great. I had been in 3 other shows, but we had never done the Macy's Day Parade, so it was my first time, and it was really exciting just to be a part of it all and see the floats and be down there. But it is very fast. You're in your costume and you're waiting, and you wait inside Macy's, and then when it's your turn, you get shuffled out and you do your number, and then you have to go back to your theater and change out of your costumes. But it was really cool. You're in the middle of 34th Street, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
No traffic. But it was a lot of fun. And I think we rehearsed the night before, but it goes by so fast. You kind of wish it took longer, just so you could enjoy it a little more.
Well, I can't even imagine. That would be so surreal for me. To think that I've grown up watching that parade televised every year. That's a tradition in our household. And then to think you could be right in the midst of it all performing, and be on national television. I mean, gosh, what a great ride that would be, just to have that experience. So
yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I grew up watching it as well. So that was.
And did you ever, in your wildest imagination, think that one day you'd be performing on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
A little bit. I have to say, maybe a little bit.
Well, that's great. I mean, I'm so glad, because you obviously have followed the correct path for you, no doubt about that. So, and in terms of that, I mean, we know, on that note, Thanksgiving is coming up next week. What do you find that you are most thankful for?
That I have a wonderful, supportive family. A loving husband, a son, just sort of family and friends around me who, are there to support me and allow me to do these creative things that, that I've always wanted to do. So, just thankful for family and friends.
Well, I don't think there's anything better to be thankful for sure. And you've done television, you've done Broadway. You now, you wrote your first major motion picture is probably one of the biggest major motion pictures of this year, probably this decade, the series. Out of all of it, what do you find that you enjoy the most?
I have been asked this question before.